So the first thing is with quadratics, we just talked about this. Always make sure everything is on one side. Got it? We just did that. We had a little problem there where we had x squareds over here and x's over there. We're always, this is the whole unit, making sure everything is on one side. Because we have two different tests. It's basically two different tests. Descriptors. We talked about descriptors. Do you all understand what the normal looks like? Okay? Right? That's our normal. Just the x squared. Just x squared. Okay, so this multiplier in front of the x squared. So if I have something x squared, well, if this is negative x squared, it will do what? Flip. Right? If I do negative x squared, it gets a flip. If I do a number that is bigger than 1, it's going to narrow the arms. And if I do that multiplication number smaller than 1, it's going to widen those arms, right? Remember those things? Okay, so we could also put a number in the brackets. So if we do add a number, it's actually going to move it left. That's the opposite, right? Remember that one? We went opposite of what we were supposed to do? Or we could see. If we subtract a number, it will move right. And then there could be a detached number. If you want to add a number out there, it will cause your shape to move, shifting up. And if you're going to subtract a number, it's going to make a shift down. Okay, now all those features and how to do them on your calculator. Okay, so vertex. So we could hit the max button, and then remember the calculator does this left-right. Okay, so I wrote down to myself to make sure I do left and right. Or you could be finding a different type of vertex, which is called a min, left, right. Okay, what causes those to be different? If your A is negative, or whatever. If you just have negative x squareds, right? Or if you have positive x squareds. So, right? Negative x squareds, flip it. So we have to be careful with that. Okay, what did we do next? Let's go domain. Have we not done, or have we done this on our cheat sheet?
I have it already.
You have all that? So we have vertex on there, domain, range, axis of symmetry, x-intercepts, zeros, y-intercept. Did we do, when we hit a certain y value, intersection? Is that on there?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so we have all the descriptors on here and like all the basics. Okay, sorry, thanks for telling me you don't need to. Okay, so now let's do the factoring. So your test is going to consist of what I just talked about with all that basic stuff, right? Calculator, figure out vertex, domain, range, axis, symmetry, all that. Second chunk of your test, factoring. Okay, so here we go. We got a GCF. For me, I would be okay with just putting an example. Do you need to write down instructions? I'm not sure, depends on who you are. Common, what's in common? So if you need to write instructions, take out common. That's all I'm doing. And it leaves me with what? X times x to get x squared, and x times negative 12. Good? D of S. Hopefully I'm not throwing random examples on there and then they end up as your test examples or something. Did I actually? What's the odds of me just, I'm literally just picking random things right now. I've not even looked at your test. Okay, so why is this called a difference of squares? Because difference is subtracting, and this is a squarable thing, and this is a squarable thing. So 2 brackets, x plus minus 7, right? Because negative 49. I need to have an add and a subtract. X equals negative 7, x equals positive 7. Okay, what do you think? Do you need instructions on your cheat sheet, or you're going to understand what's going on with your example? Okay, so an ST, what does that even mean, ST? Simple trinomial. How do I recognize it? Okay, so it starts with 1 x squared. That's what makes it simple. And a trinomial is there's 3 parts. Starts with 1x squared, and it has 3 parts. Okay. So how do you do this one? You always think, what multiplies to that and adds to that? Okay, there's my combo. Right? Got my combo, so I'm going to go x minus 3, x minus 10 equals 0. Right? Whatever your answers are, make sure they're the opposite thing. So if you have a negative inside the bracket, your answer is actually a positive or whatever, vice versa. So complex trinomial was our last. I should just put down one of these ones we just did actually. So this time, complex is you have something x squared there. This is the one we just did actually. Step 1. Step 1 multiplies flu negative 36 adds to negative 5 Okay, so that's step 1, finding what multiplies, adds to, find that combo, right? Find our special combo. Step 2, look at your F. What kind of things could you put in the F spot? Okay, so in step 2, I was literally just listing options. Okay, I'm just showing you all my options. So then the step 3 was puzzle them together. Okay, so I'm going to pick 3x with 3, 4x with 1. Okay, so what was the point of that puzzle, partner? You're puzzling to make a 9x and a 4x, finding the puzzles. Step 4, outside, inside foils. Make your hooks. Step 5, figure out the X. Okay, and then we have the quadratic formula. Okay, quadratic formula. Okay, here's the important things I'm going to remind myself about. I'm going to remind myself that that means just taking an opposite. So if you don't know what that means, if there's a positive in yours, you write negative. If there's a negative in yours, you write positive. And I'm going to remind myself that that b squared value should always be something that's positive, no matter what. I'm going to remind myself that everything has to be all on one side. Maybe I'm going to remind myself that A is the number of x squareds, B is the number of x's, and C is just the number. Okay? It's not like, hey, what's first, second, or third? That's not what you're doing. So one example, and then on my cheat sheet, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, do you see the problem of this equation? Not all on one side. So subtract 7. Who can tell me why this looks tricky? Yeah. Kyle says this. It's all moved around. Like, so what is the A? 2. Tried to trick you. B, 6, C, number. So how can I trick you? Make sure it's all on one side. Rearrange, or whatever you want to say to yourself, out of order. So x equals negative b plus or minus square root of 36 subtract 4 times 2 times negative 7 over 2 times 2. Okay, if you want to just write this down to save some time, I calculated that and I got 92. Okay, I'm going to give myself a reminder on my cheat sheet here. Brackets, just writing that down so I remember stuff like that. Do you want me to actually put this on your cheat sheet, the numbers, or do you care? Like, do you want me to find it? I will. That is 0.90. Second enter, subtract is negative 3.90. Okay. And there's just one more thing, and then I think we're actually done for the day of knowing this. Did you have negative 6? Subtract root 92? Did you do 2? Yeah. So, do you see where I get the 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, here's the last thing. If you square root and that number is positive, what does that tell us? Huh? What's that mean? 2 x-intercepts. If that square root is the square root of 0, what does that tell me? And last but not least, if that is the square root of negative, what's that all about? Look at that thing. What's it going to do? Never hit the axis, right? There's going to be no x-intercepts. Okay? You guys know that you can't square root negative numbers in math, right?